What's going on, everybody? We're finally here. We're doing this. This is what it is. Episode 1, helping out the ladies. I got my panelists here. We're all here in completion. We're going to get this rolling. We got Hercules over here. We got Jamell to my right. And going this way, we got Yves. We have Barry Cooper. We have Mr. Turn Up. And we have the icon, the musical icon himself, Smithsonian lead singer of the band, Freelance. Not lead banger, but lead singer of the band, Freelance.
What? Wow.
Keep it going. It's good. We good. So, fellas, we're gonna jump right into what we came here to talk about, which is helping out the ladies with dating. A lot of ladies have a lot of questions. They have a lot of just concerns or considerations, rather. Why, when they get into certain relationships, it doesn't work out. And I did send out a survey. The girls and the ladies did fill it out and send it. And I had a survey for the men. You all filled out the survey, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So what we're going to do, we're going to get into some things that men like or dislike and things of that nature. The first thing that we have up is, have you ever been unfaithful to a woman you determined you were serious about? Anybody here?
We doing yes or no?
Yeah, you gotta do yes or no. We don't go around the room. I know we started off. Yes, I have. I have been unfaithful.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure the question was clear.
Clarifying question.
I guess I'm the only one. Not that I was serious about it, no.
Okay, cool.
Can you say the question one more time?
So the question is, have any of you been unfaithful to a woman you determined you were serious about?
Yes.
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 Now, I'll get into the reason why it happened for me. The reason why it happened for me is just plain and simple. I was immature. I was not ready for the type of relationship I had gotten myself into. Though I was very much in love with the person I was with, there was just something missing, and I didn't know how to fulfill it. And at that point in my life, fulfilling it, the way that made myself feel good was with sexual pleasure. And if I was having discourse with my lady, it kind of would lead me after a while, not just like right away, but after a while, like constant discourse, constant like conflict and fighting, it led me astray to find the happiness that I was seeking, which was sexual pleasure from another person. Anybody else want to elaborate?
Yeah, I definitely, for me, there was just one time, it happened like before I actually got serious, but I can still count it because I was in a relationship with someone where it started out, she obviously liked me, and I didn't know how serious I was about her at first, and then as time went on and I got to really get to know her and I really started to like her, I got to a point where I was like, all right, I want to make this serious. But what ended up happening was, before I got to that point, I was still dibbling and dabbling, so like down the line, it came back and bit me in my butt, where she found out that, when things started, it was a lie.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the key points that is a conflict. It's a lack of trust when you do that. I don't know about the rest of you, but for me, omission is a lie, right? When you choose to omit the truth about something, that is lying, and that also plays into falling into the pattern or the behavior of cheating and being unfaithful. Anybody
Omission?
else?
What do you mean omission? Like
Omission, like
if you started dating somebody and you chose not to give information, then you lying?
yeah, on a technically, because it's not more so if it's a personal secret. It kind of sort of is, right? Because you're not giving a truth about it, especially if you were asked about it, right? So,
if you were asked.
Especially if you were asked about it and you admitted to not tell it. You didn't lie about it, but you just withheld certain information.
Okay. If you were asked, I thought it was a situation.
Right.
Piggybacking off of both of what you and Hercules said, I definitely was unfaithful with a woman I deemed I was serious about. I was going for the ride, peer pressure, being around the fellas a lot, and they were single at the time, and there was multiple women around, so, I figured why not entertain, other women, because wifey wouldn't know. And that, in me doing that, I realized I was doing more damage to myself because I was living a life that I really didn't enjoy and I was serious about. And it caused conflict, internal conflict with myself. And she started to notice that, like, I was uneasy. And in me being uneasy, it led me to being honest with her. You know, like, listen, you know, I cheated on you. I apologize. There's no explanation about it. And, you know, I rep the consequences.
Yeah. Because it is a conscious choice that we all tend to make for those of us who have done that. Anybody else want to share?
I guess I'll speak on the side of.
Well, let me go.
Oh, yeah.
You trying to clarify stuff. I didn't say nothing.
Like, anybody else gonna go?
He's like, Barry.
So I think that the reason why I did it is you have a level of attachment, even though like there's chaos in the relationship, right? Like, and I'm just looking in my situation. So with that level of attachment and being with somebody for so long, you know, I guess it's the moment that you're trying to kind of like find that happiness that you do, because we're human, right? Like, so we experience each other, and sometimes you'll be in a space with somebody, and if you're in chaos, that person becomes your safe haven. So I think that that's what kind of happened for me, where it was like, it was fulfilling to not have to think about the chaos. And in that, you know, the end result is sex, right? Like, once you connect with somebody, whether it's same sex, opposite sex, whatever it is, if you feel safe or that moment kind of brings you joy, you're not going to stop it, because that can too be a drug. So that's what kind of happened for me, being that I was living in chaos, or I felt like I was in chaos, and I didn't just detach from it, right? Trying to kind of like preserve, and sometimes we try to preserve that destruction. When I felt joy, I went for it.
That's deep. See, yeah, I'll jump in and you can end it off, because you know, I think
you gotta save the boat.
Ain't no good guys and bad guys.
No, it's just you're right.
It is what it is. It's just the truth. That's all it is.
You know. So on my end, I would probably say, for me, it's like the culture. You know, growing up, it's like, you know, you the man if you could have side piece, or you could just talk, and then you also look at the fact that even flirting is cheating. You know, like if you are, you know, if you with somebody and you think you got it, you have one day, you got the fresh haircut, you know, you got the suit on, you fly, like everybody stopping you, and you're gonna entertain. You being entertained, you're gonna entertain back. You know, not everyone will, you know, but that if you feeling yourself, that's what happens, and you just get lost in it, and that's the problem. Like, you know, when you're in the culture of, you know, trying to be the man, right? Like, that is the way of being the man. Is being as promiscuous as you want to be, right? And being unapologetic about it. But now you have responsibilities, you get consequences, and you know, like, I paid that.
So for me, I think it was just about filling in a void. And I will admit that for a long time, I didn't realize I didn't love myself. And anybody who knows me, I give love to the world to the very last drop. But I didn't realize I didn't love myself, so I was utilizing other people to fill in that void. And all it was a temporary fix. It wasn't like, oh, I want to stick around, I want to do it. It was just like, okay, this was fun. You know, I felt like a thought.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's real. I'm out.
What it is, like, we misplace that gratifying feeling we get from intimate touch, right? With happiness, right? And gratification and happiness are two different things. And I think more so when we're lost, the most when we're trying to feel good about ourselves, right? That's when that kind of plays into it. Like, even something simple as personal gratification, right? Maybe down or whatever, or you just may be tired, but like, it just feels good for some reason, right? That is actually fleeting. It actually doesn't really serve you in any way, because it makes you feel like, damn, I gotta stop doing this. I gotta go and get the real thing, right? It's all a trained mindset to kind of just like do debauchery. You know what I mean? You want to share it to that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never actually like stepped out on a woman that I was serious about. Mainly just because like the thought of it even just stresses me out. Like just like I was just like the guilt and just like like so that's how it would affect me. But the way I kind of handled it is like whenever I would feel that type of way, like if I'm in a relationship and I start having feelings about another girl, that was almost like my cue. Like like this. Clearly, I'm not in this the way that I should be. So like, I almost kind of see myself as like a serial dater, like because like I'd be in a relationship and it'd be cool for a while, and then all of a sudden it's not cool. I'm looking at some other chicks. I'm like I don't want to cheat, so let me get out and let me do my thing. So that's kind of the way that I have played it in the past. That's something that I've been like switching up and changing over the past couple months, but that's that's why I say there's no good guys and bad guys, because like I've actually heard a lot of
you still do hurt people, like when you date around. There's times when we all get into stuff, and we've all probably been there, where we get into a situation, we're like, yo, no feelings, I'm gonna help you out, you gonna help me out, we friends with benefits, right? But them benefits get complicated. You know what I mean? There's always feelings that get involved. People always gonna get hurt.
Somebody's trying to cash out.
Somebody trying to, right. So, and I give my personal testimony about it. It's like, there was a time I used to be just like out there, just like with all kind of women. You know what I mean? And I used to try to give myself credit because I didn't date nobody, like have a girlfriend for like a good 7-8 years, and I was just dating women. Just like seeing, and I would let them know up front, like, look, you're not the only person I'm dating, but still, that's still of a jerk. That's still of a jerk move, because even though they'll choose to be in it or not, they still expected like a level of respect, and still like if you dating one person who they say they cool, but you dating somebody else, they really ain't cool with it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that in its totality. I think that every relationship is like a contract. So at some point, can the contract run out in that particular agreement? Yeah, right? Like if that woman made the choice, it may be in the back of her mind, because I think that we kind of like, if you decide to be in a monogamous relationship, then I think that that's where, if you decide to step out, then that's when the lines get blurred. But as a man, if you like, yo, straight up from the door, what it is, and they decide to engage for however long they engage, I don't think you're a jerk for that. I think that now, if over time she grows more feelings for you, and I tell a lot of women this, like if you grow feelings in that contract, and it's like, yo, I can't do this no more, then don't get mad at me, because I already told you what I was coming with. But if they peg us as like
piggyback,
that,
and the piggyback of what Barry said, what I noticed a lot of times, some women do agree to get in that. Because they approach it with this mindset, oh, I can change. I can shift your way of thinking, because I'm gonna put all my marbles on my table and show you why you should choose me over them. Yeah. And you got some men now, oh, you giving me all these marbles, and you already know I got these other joints. I'm gonna enjoy these marbles, and and
that's a form of lying. Like what I mean, that's
that
gotta being honest about what you want, what you what you're looking for. And if you are to shift, like you were saying, like if you agree to one thing and then your feelings change, it's on you to communicate that. Like I mean, it's all like